Good morning one more time. Good morning. I see one person back in. Let me know if you can hear me now. Good morning, Armando. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Can anybody hear me? Good afternoon, Gerard. Testing 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, yeah, my microphone seems to be working. Thanks very much. All right. Let's try this again. Okay, Pound Aussie's been quiet this morning. Crude oil, I'll go ahead and expand it, see where we are. We had our first trade at 913.21. Didn't quite make money management, ended up being a full stop. So that was a 27 tick loss, 54 ticks on two positions. Now we are in a second short from 73.59. Smaller trade this time. Money management's 73.47. Targets at 45 and 36. I'll be with you in just a moment. And money management on crude. And target 1. All right. Okay. So we've hit target 1 and on crude. Unleaded was a one and done this morning, hitting target 2 in its first trade, and a nice trailer down to 2293. Soybeans, as I was just dealing with that one, with that failed opening. Sorry about that. We got a long, hit all 3 targets, and a nice trailer up to 2350 from our entry at 1525. So 7.25 points, $375, and that's just on the trailer. Good question. I did have problems this morning getting started because I brought the trade room up, and all of a sudden my audio quit working, so I had to restart the stream and didn't get it started back up in time to stay in the same stream, so I had to open up a new stream. Ron, the symbol for unleaded gas is RB, and we are currently in the July contract. I'm sorry, in the August contract. 0821. Okay, the Russell, let's see what it did. Okay, it survived the first stop and reverse. We did stop and reverse short, took a full loss. Third trade is a successful short, hitting a 44 tick target 2 if you trade target 2, and giving us a fairly good trailer, so that will help us. Now it's transitioned into a long. It looks like it's just kind of back and forth. Crude is in its second trade, already hitting target 1, trying to hit target 2. Let's see, what has the YM done? The way things started, I didn't get a chance to watch. The YM was in a pre-market trade, so its first trade is this green short at 934, and it looks like that was a smaller trade for the 14 tick. Yeah, that was just 22 ticks at target 1, and I would take that to target 2 for 34, which it hit. Oh no, it missed it. Missing target 2 by a tick, that would have been, yeah, the low of that bar was 04, and I bet our target was 03. Yes, it was, but that's a case of take some profit out of that. Don't let it go back past target 1. But then we got a small partial out of that, so that's a one and done session on the YM. Still nothing on the pound Aussie. Soybeans is complete. The YM is complete. The Russell's in a long. And target 2, 1 tick away. I would take both positions at target 1. That would give you 2 for at least that, if not just marketing out of the second position. So that would give you either plus 28, which gets us about half of what we lost on the first one back. Or if you did get target 2, you got, or if you market it out for, say, 21 ticks, you've got 35, and we were down 56, so you're still down 21. Symbol settings for the Russell basically are our default, Gerard, Bruce. Yeah, I may be downscaling a little bit, and it will be a little hard to see because my bandwidth is running low this morning, it looks like. But on the Russell, it's basically default calculator settings. It's a 1.5 point range bar. It's not necessarily something we're recommending trading because the Russell just hasn't been the market that it was back before COVID, and really since it switched to a $5 per tick. Bring the settings up. As I say, I'm running the 15 tick range bar or 5 point momentum bar if you're on TradeStation. So max bars were set up as 5, 2 cancel bars, 2-tick entry offset, 2-tick stop offset. Targets are standard 1, 1.5, 2, 2.5. Most of you won't have this B081. This is the old SL calculator. And that's the only difference in the SL and the SM and the SMS, which I believe is the diamond level. Money management targets 0.9x. Minimum ticks for money management 8. 1-tick break even, 2-tick trail. Not using the stop and reverse on the chart here. Not using add-ons. Using D2, D3, D4. If you have the diamond level, I'm using D6 on the chart, which is the dark blue trade. There are the colors. Balance line is 9. EMAs are 50 and 200. SMA is 20. Dots to moving average ticks is 4. Histogram OSOB length is 14. Sensitivity is 7. These are all default calculator settings. The only difference in the default that I'm running is the EMA crossbar count. I'm changing to 8. It defaults to 20. Troy and I both use 8 on that setting. Pretty much across the board on our Traderoom charts. Using the squeeze filter, key level adjustments, and that's pretty much it. And crude did hit its target too, ultimately. So if you didn't take profit, you picked up 24, and you're still 20 ticks down, or actually 18 ticks down. All right, Bruce. Okay, so crude did hit target 2 there. 14 and 23 for 27. So I'm sorry, 37. So we're down 20. Need the third trade this morning. The Russell still meandering about in the long. And that's basically, we have the Russell, crude, and pound Aussie still running this morning. The Russell in the upper right, crude, August contract, top center, and the pound Aussie running the 80 tick range bar or 8 pip momentum bar. And then see where we go from here. because we had the last overbought last overbought reading we had was back here at 6 o'clock this morning. We had the trade right here that did hit money management, and that is a successful trade. Therefore, we need another overbought reading to get a new short or something off of one of the moving averages. And neither the overbought or oversold have gotten back above zero since then. So that's why we haven't gotten any new, didn't get the down move on the short trade on the down move on the pound Aussie, because we had a successful short trade since the last overbought reading and haven't had a new overbought reading. So can't get a pink or blue trade without an overbought or oversold reading. Green trade is certainly off, is not available because trend strength is definitely way below zero, and we haven't been in proximity to any of the moving averages to get to the 50 EMA to get a yellow trade. So therefore no trades on the pound Aussie this morning. Or at least that's my chart, and that's appears that it's from the lack of activity from Kevin and Trade a Day. He's seeing the same thing very close to the same thing on TradeStation. Okay. All right. Russell trade taking some heat now. Hopefully the 200 EMA will provide us some support there, and it will head back up. YM's seems to be heading upward. It bounced off its 200 EMA and is heading up again. It seems to be in positive territory. I don't know where the Russell is this morning. This dotted mustard colored line is a session open, so we're above that. So that's why I say we're in positive territory this morning. And yeah, not a lot of range in the Russell this morning, but in positive territory nonetheless. And the long just stopped out. So. All right, we're waiting for. Actually, we're done with the 9 o'clock session, so that's a 20 tick loss for the 9 a.m. session. And we will wait for a trade in the 10 o'clock session. bring that pound Aussie chart up. See, we have the short at it's almost 7 o'clock, 6:56. That did go to money management right there and stopped out. So that's your successful trade, and therefore we need another pink or blue bar above the yellow zero line before we can get a pink or blue trade. And of course, we haven't got the only exhaustion dots we've had are down here and up here since then, and those are nowhere close to the 50 EM, not nearly close enough to 50 EMA to get a yellow trade. So no trades. And as you saw, not a lot of bars this morning on the pound Aussie either. That's all the bars we have for the session on the day on the pound Aussie. Pound Aussie is not being very active in the last couple of days. So still have the status quo right now. Crude is still has not stopped out of the long trade for those of you that are using the trailer. Basic trade plan on that right now is 2 fixed targets for two positions. Maybe if you're doing a third position, run the trailer. Current stop sitting at 73.41. Waiting for that trade to finish and a new setup to come up before we get any trades on the 10 o'clock session. So watching to see what happens next. Nothing really going on right now, other than following the stop on crude. That's interesting. Russell is heading down, and YM is kind of going sideways, but pushed up a good bit above its 200. And the Russell down below its 200 EMA. Okay, nothing. Still nothing. 73.37 for the crude. Stop now. And flat on the pound Aussie and the Russell. This is the Catapult ES chart. So I'll put this up over the unleaded since we've long since been done there. I'll reload that. All right, this trade was too early. Our start time is 8:35 Central, which is exchange time, so that's 9:35 on my charts. Since I'm projecting NinjaTrader, I don't unfortunately have the option of having charts set up in their respective exchange times. So we'd gone too far there to get in the long, and no trade before 10 o'clock. So we're waiting for 10:30 for the 930. What is referred to in the trade plan as a 930 mini session, and we have a potential get in sync at the moment with the short trade at 85.50. Still bought or oversold readings on the pound Aussie, so not going to get anything coming there. The long trade was filtered there by the squeeze zone, the 50 pinching down toward the 200 and falling in between the entry and target one. So that trade is filtered out. And it looks like we touched the stop on crude. So we're looking for, and we have an oversold reading. So an up close on this bar should give us exhaustion dots. That's assuming we get an up close, and an up close since we're already above the high of the bar is already above the balance line, an up close will get us a setup. At the moment, that's going to be 41. That could very well change. Still going to be 41. And trade today is pausing the trade. The trade plan has a pause from 10:20 to 11 o'clock. And so no trades until 11 o'clock on the pound Aussie. And we have another 8 minutes to go before we go into our 8:30 central session on the micro ES Catapult chart. If we do end up with an up close here, on crude, we potentially could get one more. We could go one more tick lower without closing the bar, and that would give us a setup at 73.38. But right now we're still with the 73.41 setup. Should we close this bar up, the bar should close at 73.37, which would give us a 73.39 setup and key level to 41, which isn't a bad place. Gives us a tick, about 2 ticks above the 50 and 1 tick above the 20. So not a bad place for a setup. We won't getting the price action to at least come through both the 50 and the 50 EMA and the 20 SMA. Certainly, Ron. Which chart are you on, the ES, full ES, or the micro ES? Okay, we've hit 73.37. So our entry will be at least 41. Not a big trade, and looks like the 20 SMA is, yeah, and there's our setup at 41. I think I'd push that to 42 to get above the SMA. That's where I will set mine anyway. Okay, we've hit 41, but not 42. I would definitely say stick with the adjusted entry. And that adjusted entry would mean our money management was actually 52. And so we would go for targets 2 and 3. At 58 and 65. All right, Ron. There it is. And there is our first setup for the 9:30 session at 88.25 on my chart. That's another small trade. Notice that the target one is gray. That means it's less than 6 ticks. Check your start times, Ron, to be sure that you're set up for whatever. I've got it. Just got the start and stop time set to just give me everything as normal, and I deal with when to start my mini sessions. Let me know when you're ready to scroll down to the next set of settings, or if you have questions about any specific settings. This should be pretty much the default ES calculator. I think it is the default ES calculator. Okay, yeah, that should, and of course, key level adjustments are off, being a quarter point tick market. Okay, have you got your signals coming up now? So we've hit money management. That was going to be at 89.75. And we have two positions that will come off at 90.50. Crude still surviving, hasn't hit the entry at 41. Looked to me like it did, but apparently it only hit 40. No, it did hit 41. I don't know why it's not showing it long at this point. But all right. All right, got one close below the balance line on the crude trade. And the calculator's indicating it didn't trigger in, so I don't understand that, because to me it looks like on the chart it hit, and it says the high of the bar was 741, so. All right, target 2 hit on the micro ES Catapult, and the stop is at 88.50, and that was hit. So that was a quick 2 positions off at target 2 and back to a 1 tick stop for the additional positions. And a one and done session for the 9:30 a.m. session. Next session is 2:50 Central, or no, 2. That's right, 2 o'clock. 2 p.m. Central to 2:50. Well, basically the last hour, essentially the last hour of the market. The regular trading hours market in the U.S. So obviously we won't get to that today. So I'm curious, Ron, what was keeping you from getting setups on the Catapult chart? Okay. Yeah. Now remember, you're on NinjaTrader as I am, so start times will be based on whatever you have your local clock set at, or what you have your NinjaTrader clock set to use. So for you, yes, it would be 9:35. You know, you got a 9:35 start time. 9:35, 10:30, 3 o'clock, and then 7 p.m. the final mini session on the Catapult trade plans is 6 to 8 Central. So it'd be 7 to 9 Eastern. And let's see. No, that's right. You're not Eastern. You're West Coast. So it would be 6:30. Your start time would be 6:30, 6:35 for the initial mini session. 7:30 for the second session. Noon for the third session, and 4 p.m. for the final one. Actually, no, you're not on PST right now. You're on PDT. I hope. Well, it can make a difference because, of course, Chicago does observe daylight savings time. So if you're in something like Arizona, you while you're during standard time, you're only an hour difference. When you get to daylight time, you're actually going to be two hours difference because Arizona effectively is the same as Pacific Daylight, but normally Mountain Standard. And while I was talking, crude picked up an SMA short, 73.27. And the long did cancel. Money management and target 1 at 73.17 on this crude trade. Target 2 at 73.11. And a short trade on the Russell. All right. Russell and crude are short. Pound Aussie is still flat and we're in stand down at the moment, but still no new trades. Unleaded, soybeans, and the YM all going POQ this morning. Crude trying to push down through the quarter century mark. Does always seem to be a struggle. And the Russell getting very close to its money management. Money management at 18.9. Getting as low as 19.1, so almost there. How big a trade is that? $39 take target one. That's a target one. That's one to take out at target one. And the Russell taking another shot. It's 50 EMA. Got within 2 ticks of money management, then pull back up above the 200. So now we'll see. Just have to see where it goes. Wait and see. Market volatility has been down quite a bit this week. And really getting into summer doldrums. Crude not going much of anywhere. Just back and forth now between the entry and the 50 EMA. And Russell in between the 50 and 200. So both of those are going to, and there's a potential stop and reverse at 43. And reversing too long on crude. At the full stop. So it didn't really gain anything. So 53 for money management. So that takes us up to targets 2 and 3 again. Targets now at 59 and 66 for 15 and 22 ticks respectively. So crude is in the long. Looks like Russell's down to, yeah, 18. This time, okay, Russell hit money management at 18.9. Looking for 18.5 for target. One tick away, 18.6. I think I might pull the stop down and hide it above the TA. See, about 20.7, 20.8. Yeah, looks like, yeah, maybe. Yeah, 20.4 was the 200. And 20.7 got hit. And that's where the stop was anyway. trailing the balance line. Looks like it was at 20.8, which that, yeah, 20.7 is as high as it got. So if we use the 20.8 stop and just let it stay there. Crude seems to be stuck between 73.25 and 73.50. That's an add-on long. I must have add-ons turned on there. Oh no, it did stop out. So there is a new short rather on Russell. At 19.3. All right, well, we're down to 2 or 3, and things are just kind of going sideways, so I'm going to let everybody go and continue on with their day. Troy will be in tomorrow with normal Wednesday session and the crude oil inventory report tomorrow. So we will see everybody tomorrow. Have a good one. Crude going sideways, the YM going, or the Russell going sideways, and we're getting close, somewhere close to being able to get a short. Actually, no, we haven't got enough to get. We aren't going to get a sudden exhaustion dot, so we could get a long trade there on the pound Aussie, but not at the moment. All right, everyone have a good afternoon.